Right. So we were discussing about water, and we discussed that water is there in all three status. So it has solid status, it has liquid status, and gas status. All three status are there in the environment. So we learned different examples: glaciers, ice, snow. These are some formats, solid formats of water. No. Side we just started, so don't worry, right? Okay, then liquid status. Actually, this you can see in the Earth's surface. So there are a lot of places: river, well, and sea, tank. All these are examples for this liquid status of water. You can see in the environment everywhere. That is liquid status. Okay, then the third category, or the third one, is the vapor, water vapor, or the gaseous status, or gas status. Clouds, and in the atmosphere, water vapor. So those things are examples for the gas status of water. Okay, those are the three status that we can see in the environment. Right. Then, so we discussed about this activity last day, how we can observe whether water in the vapor status or water in gaseous status in the atmosphere. To do this, actually, you don't want to worry much. So even if you test by, like if you exhale to a mirror, still you can see that water will be there in the mirror glass, because inside our gastrointron, inside our, so the exhaling air coming from through the mouth, it has water vapor. So it will be there in the glass after some time, right? Then, so this is another example. So just give me a minute. Right, then what we were discussing, water in the vapor status or water in gaseous status in the environment. So this is one practical. So in a rainy day, I think you have observed, if you are inside a vehicle, if you turn off AC, so you can see water in glasses. That is one thing. And the second thing that you can observe is when you put ice into a glass, when you put ice cubes into a glass, and if you close this glass for some time, outside in the atmosphere, there will be water in gaseous status or in vapor status, and it will come and sediment. It will be there in this glass. That is after sometimes. So what is that process is called? And so air, that gas will be converted to gas status, water will be converted to liquid status. That is why it will be there in the glass. So can you remember the word that we said for that?
Water vapor.
Water vapor is put in the gas status. එතකොට gas state තියෙන එක liquid state එකට වෙලානේ මේක මේ glass එක වටේට බැඳෙන්නේ වතුර. Right, what is the name given for that? So that is called condensation, right? That is called condensation. If word is there in the book itself, I don't know whether it's there in this place. So let me show that. Anyway, in the water cycle, we will learn that condensation. Yes, so outer surface of the glass after some time. Okay. Here. You can see this. Let me highlight. So water vapor in the atmosphere condenses. That is called condensation. Condenses and can be seen the outer surface of the glass. So that is how we observe. Condense means, so there are water drops, not drops actually, water vapor in the air. That is not visible. These are small, very small particles we cannot normally see them. But when we cool down, what will happen? When we cool down, it will come and attach to this cool surface and condense. So it will become liquid. And after some time, you can see. So if you keep this glass for, let's say, if you keep this glass for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, what will happen? What you can see in the desk? You can observe desk is wet. Haven't you tried? So if you drink, if you put a cool drink on top of what? On top of this desk for some time, what will happen? The glass will also be wet, and also the surface that you keep the, where you keep this water glass or this cool glass will also be wet. The reason is this condensation. Okay, understood or not?
Sir, we did that practical on grade 5.
In grade 5 also is that. Okay, you can. So another thing that you can do today, you can go to like go closer to a mirror and exhale from your mouth. Then also you can see the condensation. Because inside our body, right, inside our body, water vapor is there, but it is hot. Therefore, it is in the gas status. But when you exhale, it will come out, especially when you exhale into a glass surface is cool, no? So then what will happen? You can see the condensed water in the mirror, the condensed vela. Mirror phone.
Sir, I have seen that on my
even you can take your mobile phone with it. Even you can take your mobile phone and do the same. Right? You can take your mobile phone and like this. So here, let me show. Like this, you can take your mobile phone and exhale. Something like that. Then you can see it is condensing. Right? So that is also an example for condensation, right? Water in the air, water vapor will be converted to liquid water. Okay, types of water based on the availability. So we can see water in different formats. So it's a large varieties. There are large varieties. So what are they? So you can see water flowing and water in the earth's surface, maybe underground water, well water like thing, underground water, water in the surface, maybe waterfalls, raindrops, ice, in maybe muddy, like muddy soil in that environments, and in lagoons, in ocean, in tanks, reservoirs, lakes, rivers, all these places you can see, you can observe that, right? That is basically in the liquid format, right? Okay, and not only that, so we can see water clearly in the environment. Not only that, sometimes it is mixed up. It is mixed up with soil, or it's mixed up with clay, right? So it can be like that. You travel in soil, right? Because, okay, another thing. So I don't know whether you know or not. So if you analyze human weight, amount or percentage of water, if you analyze our body, so these scientists have done this experiment. So can you see 60% of our body weight is from water? My God. So we are like a walking water tanks, right? මොකද අපේ ඇඟේ අපේ ශරීරයේ 60%. 60%. 60% means more than half. Right? So let's say your weight is 20 kilograms. Right? So can you remember your weight? Recently, have you measured it?
I only have 20 kilograms.
20 kilograms. Then, Sanugi, out of that 20 kilograms, so closer to 12 kilograms is water. Right? You have 12 kilograms, your actual weight is like 8 kilograms. 12 kilograms come from water, right? So that is why we have a close relationship with water, Pute. So in psychologically also this is proved, and scientifically also this is proved. That is why we like to be in this wet environment. So we like to bath, we like to swim, right? Because the nature, so inside our body also 60% of water is there. That is inside our body. Yes, Sanogi? Do you have a question?
Sir, what are the things that 40% of 100 of?
Yeah, that is your bones. Yeah, your bone, flesh, hair, skin, teeth, and all these things. That is the next 40%. The other components. But so if you analyze blood, so it is more water, but less cells. It's more water in the blood. And not only that, so there are a lot of floods inside our body. Enzymes, like things, there are a lot of floods, a lot of such things, a lot of liquid state things inside our body. So that is why 60% of us is water. So we are like a water bottle, right? A walk-in water bottle. Right? That is why we cannot live without water, and we like water. So when we get closer to water, we will feel less tired, right? When you bath, haven't you experienced when you bath, when you take a bath or when you take a shower, it you relax, right? You feel relaxed, fine. So because like it is our nature. Our nature is closer to water. So when we are close with water, so the environment is automatically giving that boosting feeling to us. This 60% of the friends like to interact with water, which is outside the world. That is the reason. So that is why we feel fresh and we feel energetic when we are in water. Okay, then so you have small activity here. So that is actually you have to take a glass tank, clay, sand, stone, gravel in soil, and a tin with small holes. Right? What you have to do? Right. First of all, you have to put components of soil into glass tank as shown. So in the bottom layer, stones. Then you have gravel. Gravel කියන්නේ බොරළු නේද? බොරළු. So ටිකක් ලොකු ඒවා. Sand එකේ ලොකු එක. Then sand. Then you have clay, and then you're putting water there. So then you have to observe. This is how the Earth's surface. So it has different layers. No? This is actually a simulation of such environment. And when you put water, you have to observe what's happening. This will go into different layers. Actually, this will go into different layers. It will be there through this stone, sand, and gravel, and also mixing with clay. And after some time, what will happen? After these things, these things are filled, these gaps are filled with water, then you can see water will be collected in the surface. Right? So water will not be immediately collected. So let's say amount of water that you're putting is, let's say you put in 100 milliliter into this, but you will not see that 100 milliliter here. You will see closer to maybe 20 milliliter, 30 milliliter. So what will happen to the other? Yes, what will happen to the remaining? It will be absorbed by clay, sand, stones, etc. Why? Because there are gaps. It's not actually absorbing into them, but there are gaps. So these gaps will be filled. Okay. So using this, you can do, if you reverse this, you can do a nice work. That is, you can create a water filter. Have you created water filter and filtered water?
No, sir.
No. So you can try this, right? Okay, I have a video. It's in water cycle one, but I'll show that now. But I'll show that now because this will be useful. You can take dirty water, right? You can take dirty water and you can clean and take clean water using a water filter. Sometimes you can see this water is typically transparent. Normally water, when you put water, it's transparent, right? But sometimes it's not transparent, it looks opaque. Why? Because sometimes mud is there, clay is there mixed with that. Sometimes a lot of maybe garbages, dust, maybe colors, chemicals, different things can be mixed with water. So that will remove the transparency. Have you seen like this? Here, this is actually transparent. So this is you call this water in this water in this lake. You can here see here. So you can see. So it is crystal clear, right? It is crystal clear. You can see the depth. Right? So this is there in YouTube. You can just watch. So it shows the places having clear water. The water is top clean, clear. So it is transparent and you can see great depths since it is transparent.
Clear.
Sorry? Yeah. So just go and watch this video. So I'm not sure whether it will be played here.
Win at work by communicating effectively.
In Sri Lanka also there are some, but these are not from Sri Lanka. Here, this is Greece. So the place is Melisani in Greece. See. Let me zoom. You can see water is crystal clear. This is in USA. So you can see. It's really clear. Okay, so this Pute, you can just watch the videos, or this is not related to our topic, but anyway, you can see the places. There are places in the earth where you can see crystal clear water surfaces like this. You can see the bottom of the lake, right? Bottom of here. It's like a glass, right? It looks like glass, right? But no, it's not. So, but there are places like that. The water just looks like glass, really clear. In Sri Lanka also there are some places, but not this much clearer, but there are some places. Okay. So later you can watch this video. Anyway, how can we filter water? So that is very important thing. So since we have just learned about this practical now, let's observe how we can create a water filter. That is not hard, that is easy. So you need these things again, stones, sand, then gravel, and some active carbon. For this, you can use either charcoal, or you can even use like coconut shell, which is burned for this, right? Burn coconut shell or anguru mona hari tiyana deyak use karanna puluwan, but you can buy active charcoal from a shop also. So that is what you need, right? Then you can create this water filter. If you cannot find active charcoal, let me know, then I can say. Okay, how you are going to create the water filter? So I'll use a video from a kid. Just go through this with me. So let's see what he's telling.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. Hope you have subscribed now and very much. Today I will tell you the water filtration process and clean this dirty water. See, friends.
You can see he's using dirty water. It's not clean.
Water filtration process. For that we need 2 waste bottles. From one we have to cut the bottom part and one we have to cut the top part.
Okay, he's using a plastic bottle. In one bottle he has cut the bottom part, and one, so you can see in the image also. In one bottle he has cut the top part. He has cut the top part. The other bottle he has cut the bottom part. So what's next?
So that it becomes like a glass, and this we will put it like this, and I will pour the dirty water from here and it will filter from here. See, friend, cap of the bottle. If you
First of all, you have to put a kind of cloth. So this you can
like
see.
This. Then, if you have coffee filter, you can take coffee filter. I don't have coffee filter, that's why I take a piece of a cloth. I will put it like this.
You can just put a cloth, piece of a cloth. Then you can close the close the lid.
See, here is the cloth. Now, friends, what you have to do?
Okay, what he has done.
And put the cap. To avoid the water leakage, tie the bottle properly. See, here is the cloth. Now,
he has put the cloth and then cover the lid. So when covering the cap, so another thing is that in the cap you have to create small holes because water need to filter, come out. That's why. Then actually he's put in. This is actually a cotton.
And put it inside the bottle. Just take a piece of a cotton and put it inside the bottle like this. And take a pencil or something else.
So he's put in cotton. In the next layer,
take 4 layers for the water filtration. First is activated carbon or charcoal.
Here, this is the place that I said. So you have to use either activated carbon or charcoal. So active carbon or charcoal will help you remove if there is a smelly thing in water. So it will be removed, and also it will clean the water. So that is why active charcoal, or so this can be coconut, burnt coconut shells. So you can use that also. It will attract these unwanted things and clean water properly. After that, again, a cotton layer. After putting this active charcoal, again, a cotton layer. Right? After that, sand. So you have to use fine sand, right? You have to maybe, you can use a filter to make it fine, and make sure you have washed this sand before you are using. Otherwise, the sand will also, if sand is also dirty, that will it's not properly cleaning. So you have to make sure this is well washed and then put that fine sand into the filter. The next layer is again cotton. After fine sand, then some gravel, fine sand, then some gravel. So after using gravel, then the next layer is again cotton.
Now friends, we need to make a very thin layer of a cotton and settle it down. Time for the third layer. Now I have to put it in it.
Then, so fine sand, then you can use gravel or coarse sand. Then after that, you have to use stones, right? With larger stones or rocks. Right, that is the fourth layer. So reverse of what we saw in our book. That is reverse of what you saw in the book. Okay, after that, now it's ready, right? Now you can start the filtering process. What do you need to do? You need to put this dirty water from the top and observe the outcome.
See, the clean water is coming out. This filter really worked awesome. Wow, it's so pure. See, the silver foil was blocked here. Now let's go down. Medium particles blocked here. And this is the sand and the crushed stones. And it blocked the small particles. And this is the activated carbon. And it is taking out the foul smell. And see, the water is coming. We added brown dirty water. Now it's coming.
Okay, Pute, I invite you to do the same practical. So I think that is interesting because you can filter dirty water and get clean water as a result. Do you think, so how old this water that you drink? Is it same that was drunk by dinosaurs in ancient era? Is it same water or different? What do you think? Yes? I'll repeat the question. I'm asking, are we drinking the same water that dinosaurs drank? Or is it a different format of water? What do you think? Same or different? Dinosaurs la බීපු අර අවුරුදු දහස් ගානකට කලින් dinosaurs la බීව වතුරමද අපි බොන්නේ නැත්නම් මේ වෙන වතුරද අපි බොන්නේ? What do you think? Yes, yes, I need your help. Side, yes?
Different.
Different. Okay. So what about Tisandi and Sanugi? What do you think?
Same.
Same. Actually, we are drinking same. Right? So think, the dinosaurs la බීලා යාළගේ මේ ඇඟ ඇතුලෙන් ගිහිල්ලා එළියට ඇවිල්ලා එහෙම ආපු වතුරම තමයි අපි බොන්නේ. So water we drink, it's like millions of years old. Right? But what has happened? It is recycling. It's same, but it's recycling. Recycling means, yes? Recycling means it's going through a cycle. Right? It is going through a cycle and renewing. Actually, we call them fresh water, right? අපි තාමත් කියන්නේ fresh water කියලානේ නේද? We call them fresh water because it is clean. But that is a result of recycling. That is a result of recycling. Okay. So then how this recycling happen? So that is my next question. Okay. Now you saw, right? So here, actually, I couldn't tell this result of this observation. So precipitation is the, like it is, precipitation means, so what you have done here. So water is coming back to the earth as drops, or maybe ice or different format. That is called precipitation. Rain, snow, hail. Hail is ice rain. Snow, wind, rain. So that is precipitation. That is what we have simulated. Precipitation. Then what has happened? Surface water. Surface water is here. That is what collected here. May uda collected surface water. Lakes, ocean, tanks are examples for this surface water. Then groundwater. Groundwater means water in this different level. Water in the clay, water in sand, water in stone, water which is stored through the stones. And what we are doing by digging a well, we are trying to get that groundwater into the surface. That is why we are creating wells. Groundwater. Anyway, in all 3 layers, we can see water. Okay. Then, so before answering this question, right? Before answering this question, I said that how you can, so why we are drinking old water? Because of this recycling process. So let's move to that. In today's topic, I'll be teaching you the water recycling process that is called water cycle. The water recycling process, which is called water cycle. Okay. So let's learn about this. Right. In water cycle means naturally water will be there in different status. We learned that. So what are the status? Solid, liquid, and gas. So we learn about that. Okay, then, so let's do a small experiment now to see different status and also how this water cycling, just try to understand this. Actually, this is, okay, this is the question that I have asked. Right? Pour yourself a glass of water and take a sip. Right? So this is small experiment, right? Take a glass of water and take a sip. Then, so what you have to think? So I said that already, right? Because you don't want to think it again. Are we drinking the same water swallowed by dinosaurs? Yes, we do. Right? So the reason is, here you can see the water is recycling for 4 billion years. Oh my God. 4 billion years. So I say thousands of years, but it is actually 4 billion. Billion means how many zeros? Okay, this, let me write that billion. Okay, this is 1,000.
10.
This is 1,000. This is million. Right? This is million. And this is billion. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It is 9. So 1,000. Then 1,000 into 1,000 is million. And million into 1,000 is billion. And 4 into 4 and 9 zeros. That much of years ago. So let's assume our lifetime is 100 years. So if you divide this by 100, how many lives? So let's divide this by 100 and you can see, oh my God. එහෙනම් ජීවිත ඔයා ඉපදිලා තියෙනවා මිලියන 1000 පාරක්. මිලියන 10ක්. මැරිලා ඉපදිලා මේ වතුරම බීලා තියෙනවා කියන්නේ. ඔයාලා ඩයිනෝසර්ස් වෙලා ඉඳලා තියෙනවා නම් දැන් මිනිස්සු වෙලත් ඒකම මොනවා. So that is what I'm telling you. It's recycling, right? It's recycling. Okay, so how it happens? It is happening through a continuous cycle. Okay, this is a mini world. This is called mini world. You can do this by using a clear bag. Just take clear bag and some marker pens, and you can create this mini world. It's actually in this is not something that you have composed, but just something that you draw. So you can see sun and then some clouds, then precipitations falling down, and then after flowing, what will happen? The surface water, we saw that. And then the evaporation. Evaporation is the process where the liquid becomes gas. වාෂ්ප වෙන එක තමයි evaporation කියන්නේ. Condensation කියන්නේ තැම්පත් වෙන එක ඇවිල්ලා. Precipitation කියන්නේ වර්ෂාව. Okay, then the groundwater and underground water, we learned that this is a mini world. You can just create this mini world and observe the water cycle. Okay, then these are the important terms. So this will really help you. So shall we write down this part? Actually, this is needed. So I was asking this question earlier also, no? So let's write down this. So precipitation means rain, hail, sleet, or snow which falls from the clouds. It's called precipitation. Condensation, when water vapor cools down and it's becoming clouds, and not just that. So when water vapor cools and turn into the liquid, we can say condensation is the process where gas become liquid. Gas or vapor become liquid. That is called condensation, right? Then evaporation. It is the process. Okay, let me write down these things. So please copy this down. No need to draw the picture, but just write down precipitation, in front of that the meaning. Condensation, in front of that the meaning. Evaporation, in front of that the meaning. Right? So groundwater flow, surface runoff, and transpiration. So let's write that. So I'll first of all, please write these three. Then actually evaporation means the liquid status, or liquid කියන්නේ මොනවාද වතුර විදියට තියෙන ඒවා, ද්‍රව විදියට තියෙන ඒවා, it will become gas. වාෂ්ප වෙනවා. ඒක තමයි evaporation කියන්නේ. That is evaporation. Groundwater. So that is what happening underground. Surface water, that you see in rivers, right? Rivers, waterfalls, that is surface water. Transpiration. So what is that? Transpiration is the process. Transpiration. So have you learned transpiration before? Have you seen transpiration? Okay, so this can be observed. මේ ගස් වලිනුත් වතුර වාෂ්ප වෙනවා. දැකලා තියෙනවද? Have you seen that? Water, right? So that liquid water which is inside these trees, it will also evaporate. Have you seen that? දැකලා තියෙනවද? Yes or no? ගස් වලින් වතුර වාෂ්ප වෙනවා දැකලා තියෙනවද?
No sir.
නෑ. Right. So you can do small experiment පුතේ. දැන් මේක අදම ඕනනම් පුළුවන්. පොඩි shopping bag එකක් ගන්න. Take a small shopping bag. Then what you have to do, you have to better you can take a clear bag. හරි? අර clear bag එකක්, clear zip bag එකක් කලින් පෙන්නුවේ. ඒ වගේ හරි කමන්නේ. Take that and cover the leaves. Cover some leaves. අර හොඳට rubber band එකක් දාලා කොළ ටිකක් cover කරන්න. Cover some leaves and keep it for maybe in the noon you can do this. රෑ කරන්න ඕනෙත් නෑ, උදවල්ට කරන්න ඉර එළිය තියෙන වෙලාව. And then cover it and keep it for some time. Then similar to how you observe that condensation, you will see water drops are there in this clear bag. ඔයාලා ටිකක් කලවක තියලා තිබ්බම, අවුවේ තියලා තිබ්බම ඔය ගහේ ඔයාලට පේනවා අර polythene bag එකේ or this clear bag එකේ you can see some water drops. How that drops came? That is by transpiration. ගස්වල කොළවලිනුත් පුතේ ඔය විදිහටම මේ වාෂ්ප වෙනවා. ඒ හින්දා තමයි ගහකට වතුර නැතුව අර මැලවෙන්නේ. දැකලා තියෙනවද ගස් වලට වතුර දාන්න නැතුව හිටියම මොකද වෙන්නේ? After some time, if you are not putting water, right, into this, right, plants, what will happen? It will slowly die, right? Immediately it won't die, but slowly. But if you cannot do this for a long time, 1 month, definitely the plant will die. Why? It will become dry. Why it's becoming dry? Because of this transpiration. Okay. Now please write down this. Please write down this quickly. Precipitation to transpiration. Please write down this. Right. So these are the status of water. Okay, let's see how this are cycling now. Make a cycle එකක් වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? How this becomes a cycle. Let's learn that now. Okay. Now in today's activity, you have one activity to do, that is which is in the book today. So then you have to reverse that activity. ඒක අනිත් පැත්තටම කරලා you can create a water filter. Do both activities, right? I'm not sure whether you are doing it, but හැම වෙලේම when you are doing science පුතේ, try to do the experiment. Become a scientist. Science වගේ subject එකක් ඉගෙන ගන්නකොට you have to become a scientist. Send me the videos. Then it is a nice proof that that I can see. If you take a picture or if you take a video and send it to me, then I'm also happy because I know that you are doing that. So when you are doing science, become a scientist, right? Do these experiments. That is really helping you learning these things. Don't just by heart. නිකම්ම පාඩම් කරන්න එපා. Please do the experiment and understand the concept. We have learned about 2 experiments today. Every day like this, we are learning experiments. So send me the videos, right? Okay. Evaporation. Evaporation as a result, that is why our wet clothes become dry when it is exposed to the sunlight. Right? When you leave your wet washing out to dry. So that is evaporation. So what are the reasons for evaporation? So you can see 2 reasons here in this picture. One reason is, yes, you can see 2 reasons for evaporation here. If you analyze the image, you can tell the reasons. So what are the 2 reasons? හේතු දෙකක් මේ image එකේ තියෙනවා evaporate වෙන්න. කියන්න බලන්න බලලා. So what are the 2 reasons? මොනවාද මේ වාෂ්ප වෙන්න හේතු දෙක මෙතන තියෙන? Reason number 1. Yes, පුතේ, come on. කියන්නකෝ. ඇයි මේ වාෂ්ප වෙන්නේ? රෙදිවල තියෙන වතුර ඇයි වේලෙන්නේ? ඇයි මේ රෙදි වේලෙන්නේ කියලා හිතන්න. Why these washing become dry? Yes. Come on. Sanugi. Yes. Tell me one reason. Sai, tell me one reason. Hello. Are you there?
Because of the sunlight.
Because of the sunlight, exactly. One reason is correct, Kisandi. Very good. So tell me another reason. Sunlight is one reason. එකක් ඉරේලිය හින්දා රෙදි වේලෙනවා. තව මොනවාද රෙදි වේලෙන්න හේතු? එච්චරද? Wind. Very good. නියමයි. ඔය තියෙන්නේ. So 2 reasons that you can see නේද? මේ දෙකේම පේන මේ හුලගේ හින්දා තමයි මේ රෙදි පැත්තකට ගිහිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. Wind and sunlight, those are the 2 reasons, 2 main reasons for evaporation, right? Okay, so this is an example. When you leave your wet washing out to dry, evaporation happens, right? Okay, don't worry, I'll send these slides to you, right? Then condensation. This you know very well, right? I think you are artists. You are drawing these things. You have tried drawing these things in a class when at rain time. And when you are inside vehicle, maybe. Haven't you tried these things? Yes or no? Wala karela karla
Yes.
මේ වගේ මේ glass වල ඇඳලා නැද්ද? ඇඳලා තියෙනවා නේද? ඒකට හේතුව condensation. වටේ තියෙන ජල වාෂ්ප ඇවිල්ලා ඝනීභවණය වෙලා ඝන වෙලා ජල වාෂ්ප ඇවිල්ලා වතුර වෙලා මේකේ තැම්පත් වෙනවා. හේතුව මොකද්ද මෙහෙම වෙන්න? So what are the reasons? අර කලින් වගේ කියන්නේ evaporation වලට sunlight and wind. Why condensation? Condensation වෙන්නේ ඇයි? What time this happens, Pute? Is it happening in sunny time or in rainy time?
Rainy time?
Yes. Then what is the reason? Maybe environment is too wet. So one can be environment. So especially when you turn on a hot water shower, if you are in a washroom, if you turn on hot water shower, this happens, right? Isn't that so? Then the hot water shower තියෙන bathroom එකකට එහෙම ගිහලා hot water නුවරඑළිය පැත්තේ එහෙම. එතකොට glass හැම එකේම බැඳෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ රස්නෙට තියෙන වතු මේ ජල වාෂ්ප cool වෙලා. So one is water vapor. One reason is water vapor in the atmosphere. The second reason is because cooling down. Because you cool down this, that is why this happens. Water vapor is anyway there in the atmosphere. When you cool down, this happens. That is condensation. Okay, then the water cycle. So I think I have this. I'm not sure whether I did this in grade 8 class or your class. So did I mention about this movie once upon a time? I guess I have said this. The Last Airbender. Have I mentioned this? The Last Airbender is a movie. There is a cartoon too. Right? There is a cartoon too. This is actually not a real one. This is a fiction. But this is a nice movie. If you can watch this, this is a bit old. In 2010 it was released, but it's a very nice movie if you can download and watch it. There is a nice statement there in this movie. That's why I'm always referring to this. There is a nice statement. It says, in one statement says, water teaches you acceptance. Water teaches you acceptance. Why? වතුර වාට කියලා දෙනවා ඕනම දෙයක් පිළිගන්න. ඕනම විදිහක් ඕනම වෙනස්කමක් පිළිගන්න කියලා දෙනවා. Water teaches you acceptance. Why? It is never stop moving. වතුර රත් කරොත් තරහ වෙනවද අපිත් එක්ක? If you heat water, if you make it hot, it will evaporate. Right? If you heat, it will evaporate. When you cool, it will condense and precipitate. Right? Condense, precipitate. If it is fallen into a land, it will be collected as groundwater. If it is a slope, it's falling down as a waterfall. If it move inside or move into earth surface, so then it will become groundwater. When there is a lake, it will stop. But when there's a river, it's moving. So it accepts all the status, right? දැන් අපි නම් එහෙම නෙවෙයි අපි සමහරට අම්මා හවස් වෙලා අම්මා ටිකක් පරක් වුණොත් අපිට ටිකක් ඔන්න අපි වෙක් කරන් යන කවුරුහත් නැත්නම් ස්කූල් යන එක පරක් වුණොත් අපිට ඔන්න එතකොට දුකයි. ස්කූල් එක වහලා තිබ්බොත් අපිට දුක. We don't like. So ස්කූල් එක සමහරට ඕනෝඩ වැඩි වෙලා කරොත් ඒ if the school is like it is done for a long time, it's also a problem. We are struggling, but see the water, it is accepting, right? It's accepting all the status. no matter what happens, it accepts and adapt according to that. It accepts and adapt according to that. So it survives. It's surviving by moving. So that is why there is a water cycle. Since water accepts all the status, that is why we are living in the earth. If water couldn't accept this, if water says no, so then sun comes, when sun is there, so when it is like the environment or atmosphere is too much hot, so let's say the water in a lake or some ocean or some surface, water is there, then it needs to evaporate. Then වතුරේ කිව්වොත් බෑ මම නම් වාෂ්ප වෙන්නේ වෙන වෙලාවක එන්න කිව්වොත් මේ සයිකල් එකම ඉවරයි. හරි ඉරා අවිල්ලා තියෙදි when sun is present, if water reject to evaporate, the entire cycle will fail. උඩට ගියාට පස්සේ දැන් මම උඩින් ඉන්නේ මම කවදාවත් පල්ලෙහාට එන්නේ නැහැ කියලා හිතුවොත් I'm in clouds, I will never come down to the earth. Again the cycle is over. Right? Water is not thinking like that. It will condense and precipitation, right? Sorry, precipitation and also condensing. That is why it's coming down. Right? It accepts all the states, solid, liquid, gas, no matter what the status is, it accepts. So that is why there's water cycle. Okay, let's learn about this cycle next day in more detail. I hope you got an idea about water cycle and how it happens. So if possible, try to create a mini world and observe water cycle. Try to create mini world. Yes, Pute? Okay, so with that, I'll stop from here. And good night. See you all next week.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye. Come.